If this land could talk or remember, what would it say?
Okay, just to make sure it's clear, fuck you. Shut up. Shut up and go fuck yourself. Fuck you and fuck you. I don't give a fuck, man. I don't give a fuck about you. Go the fuck home. Nobody fucking cares about your bullshit. You walk around with your fucking tailgate party and your goddamn nonsense. Nobody fucking cares. Exactly. Put your fucking camera away. Shut up your fucking ass, piece of shit. You dumb fucking cunt. Fuck you, and fuck you. There, you done get my fucking statement last time? Fuck off. Go fuck yourself.
And hello, everybody. How are you doing today? Welcome to another episode of Canuckleheads. How's everyone doing? Hopefully it has been a good week for you guys. Hopefully it's been a pretty good start to March for everybody out there. What is up, Stacy? Roxas, we have Ellie in the chat there. Blaze Firestorm, see all of you. I see all of you out there. It's good to have y'all. Good to have you all back today. Oh my goodness. I don't know how long this is going to go today. Because I don't know how long this document is, and I don't think we're going to get through all of it. As you can see on the screen, I do have the document from the Marilyn Manson court case. Marilyn Manson is suing his accusers in court over some false allegations. Now, this is in California. Should very, very interesting. Should be very, very interesting because California, I believe, is anti-slap. I believe it's anti-slap. So we might see something very similar to the Vic case, and this is very much a public figure. You're not a fan of Marilyn Manson, to be honest. You just don't like him as a person. I don't know him personally, so I can't really judge him that way. But I did see the accusations from I did see the accusations from the other side, and they were absolutely ridiculous. When I first saw them, I'm like, there's no way this doesn't go to court. And here we are. We're in court. So I'm not surprised at all. You used to know him personally, Ellie? That's so cool. That is so cool. So we're going to get to this case in just a little bit here. And we're going to get to see what they allege in this lawsuit. Manson's attorney was the one who handled Metallica versus Napster. What's he accused of? He's accused of, like, you know, pretty much like mind rape stuff, you know, all that fun good things. He was in a relationship with Evan Rachel Wood. And I guess Manson used her in some music videos and blah, blah, blah. And she basically came out and accused him of, quote unquote, basically rapaying her during the music video. You know, it was good at the time. It was good at the time, but now when pantsuit power woman wants relevance, now it's not okay anymore. So she and a bunch of other people got together and conspired to release coordinated stories against Marilyn Manson to ruin his career. It's, you know, the old song and dance that we've heard of before, right? The old song and dance that we've heard of before. But there's a lot of mysticism that happens in these stories, right? It's all super detailed right up until and right up after the fact of the actual repaying, right? Yeah, apparently, Stacy. Apparently, we're gonna get into the details of what has been alleged. I'm pretty sure they're included in the document here. So we're gonna take a look at that just a little bit. That's gonna be the meat and potatoes of today's stream. We're gonna talk about that. Had a lot of mutual friends, found him to be edgy personality-wise, but harmless towards you and your friends. Yeah, I mean, if anyone at all told me that Marilyn Manson was edgy as a person in reality, I mean, you'd have to color me shocked. I mean, Marilyn Manson is kind of like the poster child for edgelord, right? So, but yeah, no, we're gonna take a look over that today. When I first saw the allegations come out like a while ago, I'm just like, this is fucking ridiculous. There's no way. I'm like, there's no way that this actually happened. And it's like, look, and the stuff that was coming out, it's like, look, you were dating Marilyn fucking Manson. What did you expect? Did you expect like rose petals on the fucking bed? Like, no. You know, it's Marilyn fucking Manson. You always thought he was a she? No. He's just an edgelord. He is just an edgelord. I think he had like some Marilyn Monroe fetish too. But yeah. We're gonna get into those. Hello, Action Toys. How you doing? Yeah, we're gonna get into that in a little bit. But we're gonna talk briefly. About the Funimation folding into Crunchyroll and disappearing forever. This can be a very interesting discussion here. So, one of your friends mentioned in his book, it made it sound like he disrespected her, but I promise you on your life she enjoyed her experiences. But I'm saying, Ellie, it was fine at the time. It was fine at the time. But you know. For these people. It's fine until it can be farmed for clout. That's the way it goes. And also, can we talk just as an aside for a moment? I'm just taking a look at my Twitter feed just randomly, and I see these things pop up on my my trending. What's happening? Why is everyone boycotting Pepsi and Coke and McDonald's? What the fuck, dude? Because they still sell their products in Russia. We have to boycott McDonald's or something now. Do they not understand what a franchise is? I mean, like, I understand. I get it. I do get it. That Twitter is like the pinnacle of intelligence, and they're absolutely smart about everything in the world. Do they not understand that McDonald's doesn't control operations in like other countries? I mean, I don't know. I don't know, man. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. But apparently, because they just won't shut down every single McDonald's inside the borders of Russia, that means that we should boycott McDonald's, I guess. Okay. I also find it hilarious how within the span of a week we went from supporting Ukraine on Twitter, we went from supporting Ukraine to the straight tinfoil of, like, you know, quote unquote, and don't ban me for this because this is a quote, YouTube. Quote unquote, Putin did nothing wrong. Like, we've in the span of a week, this is what has happened on Twitter, by the way. People wonder why, like, you should just never get any information from social media. This is exactly why, by the way. People are legitimately out here, blue check marks are legitimately out here questioning the legitimacy of all of these terrible things that Putin is doing. Like, yeah, dude, he told France that he wasn't going to bomb civilian targets while he was pressing the button to bomb civilian targets. So I don't know what to tell you. Canceling Russia the way they are, including its citizens' linked heritage, is the most racist and its people and companies have been yet. I agree, Morpheus. I don't agree with, like, canceling Russia entirely. right? I mean, that would be like canceling the entirety of the US for voting in Donald Trump, or like canceling the entirety of Canada and everybody within Canada, even the people that didn't vote for Trudeau, for voting in Trudeau, right? It doesn't make sense. There are people that don't support Putin, right? There are people out there that don't support Putin and that have been arrested for protesting against the war. Let's put that into perspective for a moment, folks. People got detained and citations in Canada for protesting the violent, like the quote unquote violent protests in Canada, right? Because they were mad that Trudeau told them to put on a mask. So they marched to the Capitol and they disrupted, and they, some idiots lashed out and got put into jail. Because oppression, right? Because my freedom. Folks, there's a literal war going on in Asia right now. And Russia is part of Asia, by the way. For people out there that are like, yeah, they're white. They're white. Actually, they're Asian. Literal definition of Asian, by the way. But yeah, so we're out here in Canada apparently fighting for freedom because, we have to wear masks, and that's the worst oppression ever. Meanwhile, people are being shot and detained and disappeared in the streets of Russia because they're protesting an actual fucking war. That is literally having the rest of the world cut them off from life. Literally, countries are saying you cannot bank internationally anymore. So, Jesus Christ. Yeah, they banned Russian cats. Why? Russian blues are so cute. Why would you ban them? Leave the Russian blues alone. They're so adorable. You get info from your friend in Russia. She wants it all to end. Said Putin is lying. Of course he's lying. Everyone's lying. There's lies coming out of Russia. There's lies coming out of Ukraine. There's lies coming out of North America. There's lies coming out of Europe. Everyone wants it to look a certain way for a specific reason, right? Everybody wants it to be their way so they can control whatever they do. Everybody's fucking lying. And the fucking top lies are coming straight out of social media. Like 100%. 100%. They're just innocent animals? Exactly. I mean, they just want to just eat and poop. That's all they want to do. Eat, poop, and sleep. Leave them alone. Good grief. But I digress. It was just so dumb. I look over, it's like boycott McDonald's. I've been seeing that for like the past few days. I'm like, why are we boycotting things? Like, is this really what we have to do? Like, we have to, like, people in like that are not in this conflict, right? And just like everyday people that aren't connected to Ukraine, that aren't connected to Russia, that aren't connected to it even in a fringe way. We have to appropriate that, right? We have to like somehow put that on ourselves and be like, oh, it's affecting me. I can't support McDonald's because they're operating in Russia. Like, shut the fuck up, dude. Literally, like, this is the epitome of what society has grown into at this point. Like, fuck off. Can't eat at fucking McDonald's. Like, give me a break. Is Putin fucking flipping your burgers in middle of nowhere, Texas? No, he's not. So shut your mouth. Jesus Christ. Exactly. The people that boycott McDonald's, they say, as they close their laptop in the McDonald's parking lot. Banks, PayPal, credit cards, cutting them off. Broke your heart too. You know how it's necessary, but damn. Yeah, FIFA removed the Russian team from the game. EA Sports removed the Russian team from the NHL games. I'm surprised they haven't just removed all the Russian and Belarusian players from the games too. Like, just go full out. Just go full out, man. Canada's allowing Canadians to sign up for Ukraine's foreign forces. Yeah, so the Ukrainian Canadians are going back to Ukraine to serve in the Ukrainian forces. Which, I mean, all to them, all power to them. Because, that's, go for it. It does bother me that when stuff happens in our own country, we don't have any sort of response like we do for other countries. Like that shit really gets under my skin. So like as a Canadian, we would not like when shit happens, we don't stand up the same way that we do for other countries. I don't know why that is. I really don't know why that is. Like we'll fight each other more than we'll fight other outside influences. It's so bizarre. Such a strange way that we have things here. But we also haven't really had conflicts like that's been happening in like Syria or Georgia or Ukraine, stuff like that, right? Where it's like constant conflicts. Like we have missiles going through fucking buildings in Ukraine and we have people honking horns outside here. It's the worst thing that's happened in like a decade. I don't know. It's very very empty when stuff happens here, right? Because people act like super Karens about any sort of inconvenience here when people just really don't have any clue on what it actually means to be oppressed or attacked in that sort of way. Absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. But I digress. I digress. So we've been hearing a lot about this Funimation merger, right? We've been hearing a lot about it. We're helping our own people instead of helping other countries. Well, it's a balance, right? You want to have humanitarian aid for outside countries, but you also want to make sure that you're putting food on your own table. It would be like if you had a family, right? If you had a family of 5, and you were taking the money that was coming in and all the food that was coming into your house, and you were giving it away to every other person on the street. Like you're paying for everybody else's kids, you're paying for everybody else, and then you have no money left for your own family. That's basically what's been happening. I hear the McDonald's Canada kicked out a kid of Ronald McDonald House. Yeah, I did hear that. That was a while ago. I don't think it's dumb, but I also think it's dumb that people are like pushing so hard against things for literally no reason. I'm not. You know what? I'm not pro-vaccine. I'm not anti-vaccine. I'm pro. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. However, when you start infringing on other people's rights, like this is a messy part, right? Because when does it become a greater responsibility? Right? When does it become a greater responsibility? Because like wearing clothing is a responsibility, right? We're not required as a species. We're not required to wear clothing, right? Would you want Lizzo walking around naked? Probably wouldn't, right? You probably wouldn't. Would you want like the door greeter at Walmart to just stand there naked and greet you? Probably not, right? But that's a personal responsibility that we take. Because we're told as a society that that's inappropriate. So imagine you say, you're taking away my freedoms by making me wear, by putting in rules to tell me that I have to wear clothing. So I'm not going to wear clothing because it's my freedom to not wear clothing. But now your nakedness is infringing on my rights to walk around and not be sick to my stomach. So where does this personal responsibility stuff start and end? I don't know. Okay, Action Toys. I don't know if you've ever gone to a store with a good-looking door greeter, but that's usually where they stick their grandmas. That's usually where they stick people that literally can't lift anything more than their head. So I don't know how many. I don't know how many good-looking door greeters there are in the world, but hey, if there was a no clothing policy, like if you could just not wear clothing, there might be more. There might be better-looking door greeters. You never know. But here's the thing, right? We have areas of society. We have like nude beaches and exhibitionist places and stuff like that where you can go and just be naked, and it's perfectly legal there. So like, we have areas designed for that specific thing, which is like we see that sort of stuff happen, right? With all the sort of stuff, but that's not freedom infringing according to most people. I don't discriminate. Jesus Christ, actually. That's not like freedom infringing according to the general society, right? So why is it freedom infringing to say, okay, well, you have all of these options. No one's stopping people from like ordering to their house, right? Like no one's saying that you can't use Uber Eats or you can't, have things delivered to you. You can't use Amazon. No one's saying that for people that refuse to get vaccinations for like frivolous reasons. Because if you say, oh, I don't remember what fucking show it was, but it was hilarious. But if you say, oh, if you have like a medical reason that you can't do this, then you have some degree of exemption, or we can find an alternate thing for you to do. And then people are like, my freedoms. But okay. But then we go back. I'm going to go back to the fucking clothing situation here. Your freedoms. Hello, Sam Flynn. Not sure how long you'll be here. You have a bad headache? Oh, I'm sorry. Looking forward to reading through the Manson docs. Yeah, I'm going to be, I'm probably going to take my time going through them. I don't think I'm going to get through all of them today, but it's going to be a situation I'm going to look into a lot further as we go on. So I'm going to take a look into all that stuff and see if I can unravel the truth as we go on. Yeah, this is a situation that's going to be very interesting to see how it goes for the next little while, because rumor has it for Ontario, we're going to be dropping mask mandates by the end of March, which I'm all for because I'm tired of wearing fucking masks constantly. I'll wear masks in situations where it's warranted to wear a mask, but hey, I don't like wearing a mask 24 hours a fucking day. But it was nice to go to a restaurant. They lifted capacity limits. It was nice to go to a restaurant and not have to fill out a bunch of paperwork to sit down. That was good. I had sushi yesterday. I think I'm going to go see Batman tomorrow after work. I have an early shift tomorrow, so I can't go too long on the stream today. But I have an early shift tomorrow. I work until like 6:30. So I think I might stop in at the movie theater and check out the Batman. Might do that. We will see. So that should be fun too. But today, just before we get to the court document that's on the screen right now, Funimation. Funimation don't feel so good, Mr. Stark. Funimation is currently being Thanos snapped right now. Hello, Ragnarok Knight. How you doing? The Supreme Canucklehead. Welcome. Everybody say hello to Ragnarok Knight. Harima. Funimation is getting Thanos snapped. It is dissolving into Crunchyroll. It's being absorbed into Crunchyroll. Which is very, very interesting. I have seen people like Caitlin Glass say, oh, everything is business as usual. Nothing at all is changing, smiley face. Which I'm glad that's what they're telling you. Because that's, you know, that's what they will tell you. I am of the mind that things are going to go a bit different. Things are going to go a bit different. Now, I will preface that I don't have any insider knowledge of Funimation or Crunchyroll or their direction of how they're going to go. I can just speak from personal experience as being a part of a corporate merger, and a scale down of a workplace that was getting merged. So when these things happen, right? It's not low level. Like, people will find out that something is getting merged or something is getting absorbed, and people will always question their jobs and blah 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 blah. The direction from upper management, from the top, is that everything is fine, business as usual. Don't let anybody know anything different. Yeah, each one's different, but they always tell you the same thing. Everything's going to be fine. Oh, no problem at all. Until it's not. Because here's the thing, right? Crunchyroll is the more successful brand here than Funimation, which should be a cause for concern for people in Funimation. Crunchyroll already has a lot of their moving pieces in place. That means they don't need Funimation's moving pieces. The biggest assets that Funimation has right now are the licenses to all of those anime. That's it. That is the biggest asset that they have. That's what Crunchyroll wants, right? That's what Sony wants. That's what Sony wanted out of the entire thing. The voice actors can be a dime a dozen. We've seen that, right? We've seen the voice actors. You can literally pick anyone off the street. Look at Yang Ya, for example. Yang Ya is a voice actor now. You can literally pull anybody from anywhere and tap them to be a voice actor. And you can take anybody. Now, are there voice actors that are iconic? Yes, there are. You have the Vic Mignognas. You have the Quentin Flynns. You have the top echelon of what it means to be a voice actor. You have the top 1%, right? You have the top 1% who are above, a head and shoulders above and beyond. But then you have the rest of the field, which are interchangeable. You have the rest of the field, which are interchangeable. You can literally take anybody at all. Do I think that Chris Sabat is one of the top echelons? No. I think he is above most, but I think he's very reproducible. I think that the stuff that he does is very typecast, and I think there's a lot of people that can do it. I mean, look at Team 4-Star. Team 4-Star was able to replicate his Vegeta and his Piccolo and every voice that he did in Dragon Ball. They were able to replicate it almost perfectly. So when I look at stuff like Funimation's merger, right? I listened to Eric and Nick's take on this as well, and his Yamcha exactly. I listened to Eric and Nick's take on this the other day, and I'm very much in the same mind that people on social media that have been derogatory towards the fans, people on social media that have been toxic and caustic towards individuals, they should have puckered buttholes right now. They should have puckered buttholes right now. Well, like I'll say Ragnarok Knight, the Oceania dub of Dragon Ball, which is the one that Canada got, it was light years better than the American one. Light years better. Shemel's Goku had absolutely couldn't hold a fucking candle to Kirby. Couldn't fucking hold a candle to him. So when you look at this stuff, as Crunchyroll, you have your own localized translators, etc., etc. You have all of your own stuff. So you're going to eliminate the redundancies because you're going to streamline things. You're going to make things a lot better, right? There's already rumblings that the California Funimation offices are shutting down. There's already rumblings about that. I believe, like Eric was saying, I do believe the Dallas Funimation office that they're building is going to be the one, because in Dallas, Texas, it's a lot easier to get around a lot of employment laws than it is in California or other states. So it makes sense. With the advent now of remote recording, you don't need to have people in Dallas anymore. You can have them in New York. You can have them in Seattle. You can have them in Florida. You can have them in Atlanta. You can have them in like New Orleans. You can have them anywhere. You can go literally across the country now. I could record voice lines right here. In fact, I have fun fact. I have recorded voice lines. I have recorded demo reels. For those of you who may not know, there's a website called Casting Call Club or something like that. I think it's Casting Call Club, CCC. That's for like independent voice actors. You can go on there and you can and look up independent projects and stuff like that, and you can apply for them and you can submit that, and they can see them and listen to them and do all that stuff. You can coordinate that. I did a small role in a fan made Five Nights at Freddy's production. I don't know if it's ever going to get done, and I don't know if they've or whatever they've done, but I got cast as Foxy in Five Nights at Freddy's fan production through that website. So you can literally sit in your fucking room, record shit, and send it out to anybody in the world. I've got a great voice. Thank you so much, Sam. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. I'm capable of quite a few different things too. Like the Doomslayer sermon I can do pretty well. I've got a great growl. I miss my calling for metal music. But the point here is that literally anybody can get tapped for voice acting. Now, can you be good at it? That's a different thing. Can you take it to a next level? That's a different thing. Can you pair that up with acting and with emotion and make it a memorable performance? That's a different thing. However, if you're looking for just bodies in the room, then hey, you can literally go anywhere. You don't even need to go into America. That's awesome, Harima. You don't even need to go into America. You don't need to fly people out anymore. And physical media is slowly phasing out. Physical media is slowly phasing out now in favor of digital media, right? People are having less and less DVD players, less and less Blu-ray players, more streaming services, which Crunchyroll is dominant in. Netflix is dominant. Prime Video is dominant. And I'm fairly certain Okatron, Sabbat's literally the only thing keeping Sabbath relevant in the realm of Funimation. Okatron is probably going the way of the dinosaur. I don't foresee him getting any work from Crunchyroll after this. Unfortunately for him. And I also think that means he's going to see a lot of roles tapered back and peeled back. So let me throw this out here. No problems, Tracy. Physical media is king. I love physical media too. I love it. I love having that disc. I love having that box. I love having the smell, right? It's all of that stuff is just, it's way better. Let me throw something out here. If, for example, Crunchyroll shows up and says, "Hey, we're gonna remake, we're gonna bring back like Dragon Ball Z." Like I know they've already done it with Super, but whatever else. Like we're gonna bring back Dragon Ball Z, and we're just gonna redo it from the ground up with new animation and blah blah blah. We're gonna bring back the original Goku. We're gonna bring back the original Gohan, but we're replacing all of Chris Sabat's voices, like what they did with Bender and Futurama, right? What Futurama did with the Hulu series, and they're like, oh, we're not like we're bringing back like so many new people, but we're not bringing back John DiMaggio. I don't think there would be a groundswell of support like there was for John DiMaggio for Chris Sabat. I don't think people would care. Honestly. There was such a demand for DiMaggio to be back as Bender, his iconic role. There was so much demand for him to be back and so much fervor over him being replaced that they ended up brokering a deal with him to bring him back. They paid him what he was asking for to come back. I don't think we would see that response for Chris Sabat. If you removed him as any of his roles in any of his iconic roles, I don't think that anyone would care. I don't think anybody would notice. Do I think that if Crunchyroll makes like a sequel to Full Metal Alchemist and they bring back everybody except Vic, do I think that would have a groundswell of support? Absolutely. 100%. I think people would be out in fucking mobs demanding that they get Vic back to play his role. Do I think that if Sony replaced Axel in Kingdom Hearts, if they recast Axel, they brought back everybody else, but they recast Axel, do I think that there'd be a groundswell of support? Absolutely. 100% people would be losing their fucking mind. Be like, no, we want our Axel back. It happened with Jin in League of Legends, for God's sake. This is the thing. It's like, do I think that would happen to a Monica Rial? Do I think that would happen for a Jamie Markey? Do I think that would happen for a Chris Sabat? Do I think that would happen for a Sean Schemmel? Do I think that would happen for a Chris Rager? No. I don't think so. And that's what I ultimately think that's what they should be worried about. if you're in that situation. I think that if you're in that situation in Funimation right now, I think you should be concerned because you haven't been spending your career building that community, making your characters iconic and irreplaceable. You've made yourself redundant. I mean, what? Monica was what, the 4th or 5th Bulma? That enough should tell you that no one cares. Like, is there a different voice actor for Frieza? I don't think so, right? Could there be a different voice actor for Goku? There already has been, right? The thing is like Sabat has a better chance of people speaking out and saying, I want Chris Sabat as my insert character here. However, his voice is so similar. I don't think that we would see that. I can't remember her name, but the iconic voice actor for Frieza. Older lady, she's really good. And people still don't know who they are, Stacy. I'm really bad with voice actor names. Like, I can see her face, I just don't remember her name. The biggest oof was Monica with Tsubasa. She somehow got the idea. Yeah, Linda Young. Thank you. I knew it was here. I just couldn't remember it. Linda Young is iconic. Linda Young is iconic. 100%. Like, you can't replace Linda Young. You just can't. You can't do it. She's got a unique voice. It's like if you were to replace Commander Shepard, right? Commander Shepard has 2 voices. Has Mark Muir, and it has Jennifer Hale. Right? I didn't play Mark Muir. I didn't play the male Shepard. I played female Shepard. If you were to replace female Shepard's voice, it wouldn't feel the same. Right? It's not your Mass Effect. It's so iconic. Oh, Tiffany Vollmer did a fantastic Bulma. I agree. Tiffany Vollmer was the Bulma, and it was noticeable when it changed. It was noticeable when she changed. It's like in Pokemon, James, the original James voice actor, it was noticeable when they changed him. And it didn't feel right. Right? That's what I mean. It's like when you look at the quintessential roles and it's like, okay, if they changed Vegeta's voice actor, would you notice? If they changed Goku's voice actor, would you notice? Like, you probably wouldn't, right? You probably wouldn't notice. Like, that's what I'm talking about. It's like those iconic roles. I did hear about Kirby. Yeah, sadly. That's really unfortunate because he was the quintessential Goku in my opinion. The ocean dub was 1,000 times better. That's what I grew up on. I didn't hear Sabat or Schemmel. I didn't hear them at all. Hey, Stacy, let's go. Well, you can tell Linda I gave her a compliment. You can tell her I gave her a compliment. She probably has no idea who the hell I am. But there's iconic roles in the series, right? That 100%. 100% they make memorable moments. in these games for you, in these games, in these movies, in these shows. You'll tell her. And it's one of these things. It's like you can't replace that. And that's the top 1% of voice actors, right? That's the top 1%. There's so many people that emulate these people. Like Mark Hamill. He has such unique approach to his acting. People try and emulate that from him all the time. So that's the gold standard for voice acting, right? Is that top 1%. And I don't think 99% of people in Funimation fit that. Hell, I don't think anyone in Funimation right now fits that. I don't think anyone that's under Funimation right now fits that right now, at this very moment. Still remember your favorite lines from him to this day? There you go. It's the stuff that sticks with you, right? The stuff that sticks with you. It's super important. So having gone through, I will tell you, having gone through a corporate merger from a management level, not just an employee level, from a management level, I've been through the meetings with the clients and with the top end management saying, like, look, this is what's happening. We're going to be shutting down operations in 8 to 10 months. We can't tell anybody. We have to tell everyone it's going to be business as usual because we don't want a mass exodus. We still have to run the business for the next, right up until the closure. So we have to let everybody know that, nothing is changing, everything's fine, and then 2 weeks before we close, we'll let them know. But we have to make sure that we have everything working in place as normal right up until the end. I've been in these conversations before. It's a large reason as to why I left the company. Because it's disgusting and I don't support that type of shit. But that's business. It comes down to you have to run a business and you have to have people there to run it. And so they just lie. They lie by omission. Nothing's going to change. Everything's going to be fine. Everyone's job is secure until it's not. So as much as I believe Caitlin Glass thinks that her job is secure, which could be, it definitely will not be business as usual. And I think that there's a lot of people out there that know that. If Crunchy's planning to get rid of some of the funny VAs, they won't know until last minute. Exactly. They won't know until their contracts are up. They won't know until, as Eric Roland was saying, they won't know until their legacy characters are finished. Heard Funny is going to wrap everything up by the end of the year. I wouldn't be surprised. They're going to tell people last second. They're going to stop getting new roles. This is the way it's going to go. Crunchyroll is not an agency. Funimation acted pretty much like an agency. Crunchyroll is not an agency. So it'll be very interesting to see how this pans out going forward. Because they're just going to independently contract to the actor pool, right? I doubt they're going to have contracts where they have to pay them certain amounts per year based on X, Y, or Z, or have them do X, Y, or Z conventions per year. Because Funimation was obviously making money off of that. But Crunchyroll doesn't need to do that. So my thoughts here, a lot of people in Funimation that really should be a lot more worried than they are. There's a lot of people in Funimation that should probably stop talking shit on social media. So could be very, very interesting. Be very, very interesting. I think this is probably why we're seeing a few people on social media that are really, really not mad. They're totally not mad. They're so not mad that they're just like completely brigading people's Twitters and going after people's socials to try and get them censored so they stop talking about certain things. Hello, Ken. Can't wait to see some of these egotistical dips begging for more work after the way the companies shit all over everyone in the business press. Exactly. Can't wait to see how these snakes survive in the wild. Because it's a coming, let me tell you. It's a coming. The good days are over. Oh, it's going to be, yeah, they're going to get rid of some Crunchyroll folks too. I mean, it's going to be a time to streamline and trim the fat, so to speak. They're going to be trimming the fat on both sides. Did Monica and Ron break up? I don't think so. Considering that Monica has stopped losing weight and she started gaining weight faster than an elephant's baby. I don't think that she's single. I'll just say that. I'll just say that. Considering that there's been people on the internet that have raised concerns of her rapid weight gain. And she's BTFOing them. Yeah, I don't think she's single. Going by Drexel's logic of the life cycle of single hoes, right? When you're in a committed relationship with a woman, or a thought at this point, when you're in a committed relationship with a thought, and she starts doing her hair and she starts doing her makeup and she starts losing weight, you're not in a committed relationship with her anymore. She ain't doing it for you. Let's just say that. She's fatter than she was. Apparently, yeah, she's gotten like really huge. Like apparently she's gotten really, really big again. It's a lot of fat to trim. They're going to need a broiler. Yeah, going by Drexel's logic, yeah, if she's doing all that stuff, if she's losing weight, then you're not a committed relationship anymore. Your 13-year anniversary is Monday. Let's go. Congratulations, Trent Michaels. She loves me, though. Hire degenerate Ken at Crunchyroll or Flaccid Roll. Oh my god. I don't think kink shame or roll rigidity is. We're gonna be talking about the Manson case in just a minute here. Oni, you haven't missed anything regarding that at all. I've been talking about other stuff for the moment. Talking about other stuff. I'm gonna drop my guys. I'm gonna self promote here for just a minute. All right. I'm gonna self promote here for just a minute. I'm gonna shamelessly shill. Where the hell did it go anyway? I'm gonna drop my my demo reel in the chat. She's trolling for Idiot B because he hasn't lived up to her financial expectations. It's true. You are correct. Here we go. No, it's not. There it is. So feel free to listen. Yeah, grift time. Feel free to listen to this. So guys, this was the this is an example of what I'm saying. Anyone can be a voice actor. Anybody can be a voice actor. It takes a very special talent to be a good voice actor. Let me just say that. So this was a demo reel that I've submitted that actually landed me a role as Foxy in a fan game. So you guys can listen to that at your leisure. Of course. Yeah, you guys can listen to that at your leisure if you want to. And anybody can be a voice actor. This was recorded in the spot I'm sitting in right now. It's 3 different versions. So there's the first version, the second version's more of a robotic, and the third version's a very glitched out robotic version. If you played FNAF, you know what I'm talking about. But there you go. This what's this about Funimation you've been hearing? They don't feel very good. They're about to dissolve permanently and just become one with Crunchyroll. They're about to Akira the situation. Akira. But yeah, that's gonna be good times. But just wrapping up that first hour. Been in touch with your name, with them in your name. Have you touched the gaze? Have you touched the gaze today, Stan? That was so hilarious. So the first hour is in the books. We're gonna pivot. Funimation needs more touching of the gaze. It's true. 2 out of 10. 5 out of 7. We're gonna pivot here to the main event. We're gonna talk about the Marilyn Manson lawsuit. I don't know how long this is. It's 28 pages apparently, so we might get through it today. Because I'm sure there's a lot of filler and legal shit that I don't understand, but we see here that it's Marilyn Manson, so Brian Warner, professionally known as Marilyn Manson, against Evan Rachel Wood, Ashley Gore, also known as Ilma Gore. Very, very interesting. So 2 defendants in this one. It surprised you that Crunchyroll's taking over instead of Funimation? I'm not surprised at all, because number 1, Crunchyroll is a bigger brand. Number 2, Crunchyroll is far less controversial than Funimation. It's far less shit smeared all over it and crayon writing than Funimation. I'm not surprised in the least. This is a court case that's happening in the state of California. Don't give my name a bad association. Oh, Ken. Oh my god. Funimation's going to be eating Crunchyroll. First VA being jackasses. Now they're going to be paid less by Crunchyroll. Like their translation teams. Yup. It's all going to come back to bite them. A slow burn. So this is in California. And the complaints here, this is interesting. I don't know if these causes of action are the same. If Texas has the same causes of action as California does, I'm sure they have different ones. This might be one unique to California, but intentional infliction of emotional distress. This is an interesting one that I want to take a look into. This is a very, very interesting one that I want to take a look into. Violation of Comprehensive Computer Data and Access Fraud Act Penal Code. I'm guessing this is exclusive to California. Not 100% sure. Defamation per se. Impersonation over the internet. That is also very interesting. So we're going to take a look into what is being said here. So, introduction. The action arises from the wrongful and illegal acts done in furtherance of a conspiracy by defendant. And notice how conspiracy is not part of the causes of action here. Conspiracy by defendant Evan Rachel Wood and her on-again, off-again romantic partner. Ooh. Defendant Ashley Gore. Oh my. Oh my. Ashley Gore admitted to having incriminating documents on her computer and threatened legal action against anyone who shares them. Why? That's so stupid. That's so stupid. First to social engineering methods to gain... Oh, interesting. I have to take a look into that and see what that means. Because that's a legal definition, and I don't understand it. I guess having first been a pirate site for anime, there's no way a bad Funimation reputation currently is. You know. On again, off again's been redacted. To publicly cast Marilyn Manson as a rap artist and abuser. Malicious falsehood has derailed Warner's successful music, TV, and film career. It's true. Trying to hide something. Shocked, I say. Actually, not so shocked. Hello, Wesley. Welcome. Wood was in a serious romantic relationship with Warner Manson from 2006 to 2010, during which time she soaked up the spirited rock and roll lifestyle that came with being Warner's significant other. I believe that she fully enjoyed the rock star life, as it's being called here. Hello, MGTOWN Podcast. Welcome. How you doing? What happened to your wrench? That's weird. I thought I gave you a wrench. For the first time, I really feel like I'm around somebody in an environment where I can just let go and not worry about being judged. She was craving danger and excitement, as she would later explain. Being with Manson put my creativity into overdrive. Despite Warner's public shock rocker persona they had, in Wood's words, had a healthy, loving relationship. It's gone. She absolutely did. And so these are all from interviews in magazines. Blame Ken's canceling coach. No, I said rap artist. I said rap artist because I can't say the other word too many times without getting yeeted off of YouTube. It's actually... where is it? It's actually this word right here. But I just translate that to rap artist. All right. In the 10 years after they split, Ken is a grape artist, exactly. Wood never once accused Warner of abuse. That is until she met Gore. Oh no. Oh no. Here we go. It was fine until it wasn't, right, folks? It was fine until it wasn't. A grifter who understood that organized an attack on Warner, spearheaded by Wood's own fabricated revelation of rapé and abuse, could benefit them both. Oh boy, here we go. Here we go. We have a new challenger. We have a new challenger for Rekida's title. With Gore's help, Wood could be rebranded from someone who still might be best known for dating Marilyn Manson a decade ago into an outspoken standard bearer for victims of domestic violence and sexual assault, thereby absolving her reputation for having a wild past and her embarrassment for having been in a long-term relationship with Marilyn Manson. Will there be a teleporting penis this time? I don't know. I mean, that actually might be viable with Marilyn Manson because Lord knows what kind of surgeries he's had. But yeah. To that end, for the last 2 years, Gordon would have secretly recruited, coordinated, and pressured prospective accusers to emerge simultaneously with accusations of rapé and abuse against Warner, and brazenly claim it took 10 or more years to realize their quote unquote, their consensual relationships with Warner were supposedly abusive. This is all gaslighting shit, by the way. All of this shit, all of this Me Too nonsense. This is the stuff that makes Me Too ridiculous, by the way. It's gaslighting people into thinking, oh, well, I guess my relationship was abusive. Woods and Gore's wrongful conduct in furtherance of the conspiracy is staggering. Impersonated an agent of the federal... They impersonated an FBI agent by forging and distributing a fictitious letter from their agent to create the false appearance that Warner's alleged victims and their families were in danger. And that there's a federal criminal investigation going on. I have to see where that is. I have to see the attachment A. Oh boy. Where is attachment A? I have to see this. To whom it may concern, please be advised that Miss Evan Rachel Wood is a key witness in connection to a criminal investigation in Los Angeles, California, involving an international well-known public figure. The safety of Miss Wood, her family, other victims, and families of the utmost concern at this time. Contact for more information regarding the victims of human and sex trafficking crimes. Federal Crimes Department. I'm absolutely sure, guys, the FBI handwrites in Deputy District Attorney and Special Victims Bureau. I am absolutely sure they do. 100%. I believe that the FBI handwrites these things in. Jesus Christ. Holy fuck, dude. Who the hell falls for that? That is incredible. They provided checklists and scripts to prospective accusers listing the specific alleged acts that they should claim against Warner, B and C. Let's take a look at that. Holy shit, dude. This has to be high school. This has to be high school. You're kidding me. Willing to testify, yes, no, it's complicated. What's your misunderstanding? Me too. You're feeling it's interpreted in the light most favorable to the pound symbol. No, it wasn't always that, Ken. It wasn't always this. The hashtag Me Too movement used to be a solidarity. It's like, it used to be this is a situation that happened to me, you know, if anyone else had it happen to them. It wasn't I'm going to use this to destroy this person. It was, I'm going to share my story so that other people who have had that stuff happen to them can commiserate and we can share in healing together. That's what Me Too used to be. But it got morphed into what this is now. It's like, oh, I'm going to say like this person did something to me, and then everyone else is going to be like, oh yeah, well that happened. That person did it to me too, and I'm, and then they go after the person. That's not what it was. That's not the spirit of it. The spirit of it was, you know, a bad thing happened to me. I'm not going to talk about the person that did it to me because I don't want to give them power. I'm going to talk about what happened to me, and I'm going to share the healing with everyone else who has had similar things happen to them. That's what it started as, and it got bastardized very, very quickly. Very, very quickly. Offered project or professional opportunity that never came to fruition was vastly different in how it was first presented. Maybe you just didn't fucking understand what it was. Rapé. Blood drinking. How dare you kink shame? Commercial sex act or acts. Cut or assaulted during sex without prior consent. Tied or bound. I mean, this sounds a lot like kink stuff that probably should have been discussed beforehand, but you're kind of getting involved with Marilyn Manson. I mean, it would be like getting involved with Ozzy Osbourne and then being surprised when he bites the head off of an animal. You know? Locked in a bad girl room or unable to physically leave. That sounds like a kink thing. Made to guard girl to make sure she doesn't leave or commit suicide. That doesn't sound like that would be something that is up to him. That, you know. That doesn't sound like something that would be his fault. Sleep deprivation, again, not really something that he would force onto you. Forced to eat on a specific eating schedule. How fucking dare you? How dare you tell me I have to eat lunch? Given a dress code. Okay. Cancel him. Drugged or suspected to be drugged with Rohypnol. A very, very easy way to figure that out. Threatened. Underage and given drugs and or alcohol. Scarification. Exploitation or blackmail of documents, photos, and or video. Assault and battery with a deadly weapon. Help to coordinate schedule. There's like throwing random shit in here. Help to coordinate schedules and or locations of women. I mean, why is that a bad thing? Matching tattoos with Marilyn Manson. Why is that a bad thing? That sounds like something people do anyways. That aren't even in a relationship with him. Was a minor and had a sexual relationship with him. Transported to Los Angeles, overseas, or interstate. Of course, I'm sure that he would pay for their trips. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. B and C, right? This has to be high school. Are you kidding me? They wrote in like fucking crazy marker. Like they wrote in crazy pen. They wrote their fucking testimony in crazy pen. Are you kidding me? And this is one person writing it, by the way. One person writing it in like 3 different pen colors. What the fuck? These people are not stable. What the? I'm. What? Are they trying to like look like 5-year-olds? I'm so confused. This is what they were doing? It's not the size or color of the pen that matters, but the motion of the They ran out of red crayons, they ate them all. They clearly haven't left their teenage years. Like, let me just break out my fucking gel pens so I can write this like this confession note. Let me get out the sparkle fucking gel so I can Jesus Christ. Thank God they didn't use scented pens because they'd eat the fucking paper. Looks like someone with advanced schizophrenia. Like, seriously. Holy shit. Additionally, in furtherance to their conspiracy, Gore solicited Warner's personal information, including logins and passwords from former employees who were entrusted with such information. Hacked Warner's computers, phones, email accounts, and social media accounts. Created a fictitious email account to manufacture purported evidence that Warner was emailing illicit pornography, and swatted Warner just days after Wood suddenly appeared all over social media in order to draw further unwanted attention to Warner to the false allegations Wood and Gore conspired to make against them. They're fucked. They are capital fucked. Holy shit. The wrongful conduct alleged herein has been invasive, harassing, defamatory, otherwise injurious to Warner in his career, personal life, and well-being. Accordingly, Warner has brought his action seeking general, special, and punitive damage against Wood, Gore in the amount determined at trial, in injunction, and an injunction preventing their future wrongful conduct. Plaintiff, yada yada, has been relevant at all times. Okay, so this is just declaring the parties and the jurisdiction. Jurisdiction and venue. Court is jurisdiction over the matter in this action pursuant to California, yada yada. Because on information and belief, they regularly conduct business in the state, and the unlawful conduct towards Warner alleged herein predominantly occurred and caused harm in this state. Venue in this county is proper because the defendants regularly conducted business in Los Angeles County, conduct the events given rise to the causes of action herein occurred in Los Angeles County. Witnesses to the event and issue reside or regularly conduct business in Los Angeles County, and the relevant evidence is believed to be located in Los Angeles County. That could probably, I mean, I'm not a legal expert in the least at all. That could probably overcome jurisdiction. Simply having, because they're so fucking stupid that they pulled witnesses from California. It'll probably overcome jurisdiction. State court, yeah, because he's going for money. He's not going for criminal. I mean, this could jive into criminal court too. I mean, factual allegations. While promoting the HBO show Westworld, she told Rolling Stone magazine, I remember this is where I saw this, that she had been repaid twice by a significant other that were together on a separate occasion and the owner of a bar. She did not name her alleged rap artists. Yada yada. She didn't come out publicly about any of it. In February 2018 and April 2019, she gave sworn testimony to U.S. Congress and California State Senate in proposed legislation, in support of proposed legislation where she had the Phoenix Act were affiliated. She and the Phoenix Act were affiliated. She testified that she had been repaid once by a significant other and once again by an attacker after hours at a bar. Damn, imagine getting repaid and then going out to a bar and getting repaid again. Goddamn. Better go criminal with that dumbass openly admitting to falsifying. I mean, it could go both. It could go both. At this point, impersonating a federal agent is a super duper crime. That's a you done fucked up. I think what's gonna happen is they're gonna do this stuff here, and then they're probably gonna escalate that to criminal. I would assume once the discovery comes out. Gore's been mired by financial troubles. Shocker. Absolutely shocking. For example, her family members presented evidence that Gore committed crimes of identity theft. Wow. By opening credit cards in the name of her twin sister and deceased mother. Absolute pinnacle of humanity right here. Borrowed money from an elderly family member under false pretenses, claiming it would be to assist with the purchase of a house, which Gore never carried out. Shocking. Gore wrote in a notebook with her family goal of being involved in the Phoenix Act was to make money. Oh boy. Oh boy. Phoenix Act engages in fundraising, including multiple listings on the crowdfunding site GoFundMe. Wow. Wow, she sounds amazing. Absolute pinnacle of humanity. Wood and Gore began working on a documentary film project to chronicle Wood's activities on behalf of the Phoenix Act. HBO finally signed on to the project in 2020. Wood had never publicly abused that Warner abused her, or publicly declared that Warner abused her. In September 2020, Wood decided for the first time she would accuse Warner of abuse. So yeah, she talked about being abused for 4 years, and she never mentioned that it was Marilyn Manson. Not once. Until she got signed on by HBO to make a documentary, right? Then it was okay. After months of conspiring with Gore on how to use Wood's celebrity status to recruit other women and their stories, Wood posted on her Instagram page that the false claim that Warner had abused her. The same day, other women had assisted by coordinated by Wood or Gore, sought social media attention. Remarkably similar public abuse allegations against Warner. Wow, where have we heard this before? Those claims, like Wood's, were false. Where have we heard this before? The deluge of allegations Warner brought renewed attention to the Phoenix Act and Wood, and in doing so provided more manufactured content for the HBO project. Wow. Almost like HBO signed them on, but they wanted more stuff to it. They wanted more substance. Naming Manson obviously created more of a story for us. Wow. Became a 2-part film in the edit bay. Wow. Oh boy. I really hope for HBO's sake that they didn't have prior knowledge to this. Yikes. That could be an interesting add-on. Oh boy. Just as Wood had intended, her public allegations against Warner seemed to corroborate, albeit falsely, her prior statements. Yeah. Just make a bunch of fake statements and then make a claim and then use your previous statements as evidence of your claim. Conspiracy and frankly, you're happening for Manson. He's bringing this stuff to light and hopefully more people will realize it. This is one of the highest profile cases since Vic Mignogna taking his accusers to court. So like this is, depending on how this plays out, it could be really, really huge. HBO was informed and they chose to ignore it. Well, they could be in some serious legal problems. Oops. Wood and Gore recruit, coordinate, and pressure prospective abusers and to make false allegations against Warner. Let's see. Wood and Gore have derailed his career. Yep. Woods acknowledged as much in Phoenix Rising when she stated in the film himself, which debuted long after their attack on Warner. It's not about revenge or like he's a monster and needs to be punished or destroyed. He's already destroyed. Where have we heard this before? Where have we heard this before, folks? We have known about this stuff since 2019. I have been rallying against this stuff since even before that. It's in plain fucking sight. Are we awake yet? Have we woke up to this fact yet? Are we still sleeping on it? Come on, world. Gore used the Phoenix Act in connection with the film project to recruit, coordinate, and pressure women into being linked. Despicable. Absolutely despicable. Hey, I know this is a strange way to reach out. My name is Ilma. I work with the Phoenix Act to run alongside Evan Rachel Wood. We're organizing a group of people to meet up in Los Angeles, Zoom, Skype call, blah, blah, blah. I'm not sure that you'd be interested in participating. You aren't obligated to speak. If you wanted to listen, that'd be fine. Small group with a personally about yada, 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 yada. Of course, Gore used fucking Wood's bullshit. Or further entice potential accusers to allege abuse by suggesting that she was already amassing videos claimed for ongoing criminal investigation of Warner. Wow! Where have we heard this before? There's an ongoing criminal investigation. You probably don't want to have him at your convention. that their efforts would lead to Warner's arrest. There is an arrest impending. Jesus Christ. Gore planned that in addition to filming the small group sessions with Wood and the recruited accusers, the film crew would also record Gore and or Wood dropping their evidence off to law enforcement in Warner's anticipated arrest. Right? Yeah, we're going to drop off all that evidence. We're going to share all that evidence. Oh, you can't see it, though. You can't see it. This is just for the police, though. You can't see it. It's a brown envelope. Look at all the evidence in this brown envelope. We got 3 envelopes. Look at all this evidence. You can't see what's in it, though. Not until all is done. Not until all of it's done, no. Due to be taken away by the FBI any day now, yep. Gore and others working on the film also repeatedly referenced a claimed ongoing criminal investigation to intimidate potential accusers, including by suggesting both directly and implication that if they didn't participate, they could be in danger and security would not be provided for them and their families. Holy fuck, mafia tactics. We can't guarantee you security if you don't provide us the information that we're looking for. We can't guarantee that your kneecaps will be in one piece. As further evidence of wrongful coordination, Gore provided prospective accusers with a checklist of 21 fabricated acts of abuse. We already read that one. That is so fucking stupid. Warner would mirror each other and create the fake perception of a pattern of wrongful conduct. Wow. Wow. Oh, it was a script for interviews. So that gel pen script, that gel pen paper was a script for interviews. An example of one such script is attached as attachment C. In addition to prompting specific allegations with a checklist, Gore, with Wood's assistance and or acquiescence, encouraged prospective accusers, I'm just going to say abusers, fabricate, change, embellish, and exaggerate their stories, and include making up that they have been repaid by Warner, trafficked by Warner, and were too scared to speak. Does Ron work for them? It sounds fucking like it, doesn't it? You know, when this came out, when did this documentary shit hit HBO? Because all of this shit sounds like stuff that has been recently used by this movement, right? I'm wondering if they saw this and they're like, huh, that's a good idea. We can use that. Does Don Soy work for them? Absolutely. Indeed, Wood and Gore were convinced prospective accusers that their failures to allege abuse over the past 10 years was not because the abuse occurred. No, yeah. You just repressed it, not because it actually occurred, but because you repressed it. It's not because it occurred or anything. It's just because you had to repress this awful memory. It was such a terrible, awful thing that you just had to repress it. Not because you failed to allege it. Fucking gaslighting clowns, man. They have no memory of the abuse that these meetings unlocked new memories. You know, we have reached the point in #MeToo. We have reached the point in Me Too where they're releasing DLC. Like, this is... How do you unlock a new memory? How do you unlock a new memory? This isn't Kingdom Hearts. This isn't a fucking video game. You can't download a fucking new memory into your brain. Jesus Christ. We actually believe these people? People out there actually believe this. Unlocked a new memory. Holy shit, dude. Everyone's a fucking amnesia patient, apparently. Everyone in the fucking world, every woman in the fucking world is a fucking amnesia patient. Walking around, not knowing who they are, not knowing what they are, not remembering their fucking life until they stub their toe, look up and see a picture of a man, and unlock a memory. Holy shit, dude. My prototype or remember me, they unlock memories the entire game. Jesus Christ. The phrasing was identical. That's key number one. They do not got it memorized. Holy fuck. Some woman who Wood and Gore contacted refused to participate because what they were being asked to do and say was not true. Well, good for them. This Breath of the Wild, exactly. Am I just like going to like this spot and I see it? I see like a little sparkling light, and I just have to stand there and like focus on it really hard. And poof, I remember. Jesus Christ, dude. Some have come forward to say the allegations did not match their experiences with him. Greta Aurora, who was recruited by Gore but refused to participate in the coordinated attack, has stated publicly that she was still depicted as falsely as a victim in a lawsuit filed by Gore and Associates' former assistant, Ashley Walters. Wood and Gore impersonate actual FBI agent by forging a fictitious letter. Oh my god. I'm a victim of Monica. She sexed me many years ago. Stan, you just unlocked a memory for me. I remember being touched inappropriately by her at a convention years ago. And I didn't ask for it. You unlocked that memory in my brain, Stan. Jesus Christ. These fucking people are something else. Included a forged signature. Oh, I agree, Roxas. I'm a former survivor myself, and I always call bullshit. These people have no clue what it means. No clue what the fucking word means. Stated there was an ongoing law enforcement investigation into Warner, and there was concern for safety of Wood and other victims. Oh my god. The federal agent whose name and alleged signature appear on the letter confirmed that she did not author the letter. She had no knowledge of the letter, did not authorize or approve the letter, and has never been involved in any criminal investigation of Warner. The reported federal agency that the letter associates with, the Federal Violent Crimes Division, does not even appear to exist. How shocking that a handwritten agency, a handwritten department of the FBI doesn't exist. Wow. Screenshots of a conversation between Gore and show a text that the letter was drafted by Wood and Gore, not the FBI agent. Wood drafted the text of the letter, asked to receive feedback from Gore, including to remove a reference to an imminent arrest. Included a conversation copied below. Alabama is Wood, nickname she was given around the time of her relationship with Warner. Da is my new... Whoa, I've never seen this one. Da is my new number. Here is the letter. What you think? It's all good. I don't know about the letter stating that the arrest... about the arrest before it happens. Oh my god. Oh my god. In addition to the crimes detailed above, Wood submitted the forged letter in a California custody proceeding, using it as evidence as why she should be able to move her son to Tennessee. She submitted a falsified FBI letter in a fucking court document. Holy shit, dude. citing and quoting from the letter, Wood lied under the penalty of perjury, stating that she was advised by criminal investigators that my family's safety was at risk. Holy shit. Wow. Caught in fucking 4K. Like, this is like, oh my god. Upon information and belief, Gore aided and abetted Wood in forging a letter because the letter would help Wood, and forged letter would be picked up by the press and drawn attention to the Phoenix Act. Yep. Gore creates a fictitious email and impersonates Warner. One such email by Gore is bhwarner1969@gmail.com. What? Like, this is ridiculous. No one would believe this is Marilyn Manson's email address, by the way. Jesus Christ. It sounds like something like a fucking 12-year-old would make. Upon information and belief, around 2019, Gore used these fake accounts to send and receive emails containing links to pornography. Again, sounds like something a fucking 12-year-old would do. URLs currently do not work and were likely taken down. No kidding. Amanda Winley's brother's computer. Oof. Ouch. Morpheus. Ouch. Isn't it amazing, like, that the people that call out all this shit and then have it happen in their own backyard, bury it like a fucking turd? Yeah. So cool. Upon information and belief, Gore created these documents as part of wrongful conspiracy against Warner to enhance her reputation and esteem with Wood, the Phoenix Act, yada yada. Good stuff. Gore swats Warner in February 2021. Yeah. Swatting creates fear, yada yada yada. Okay, fine. Gore swatted Warner around February 3rd. LAPD was notified that the FBI had received a call from a friend of Warner named Ilma Gore, X to doubt, who claimed that the emergency existed because she had not been able to reach him and was concerned for his safety. The report was false. Warner was at home with his wife and a guest and not in any danger. Gore knew her report was false. She and Warner had not even met. She had not even been Warner's friend, had no basis to believe that Warner posed any risk to, or danger to himself. On the event, squad cars reported the emergency at Warner's home. When Warner did not answer the door, more units arrived. The LAPD helicopter was deployed. The officers continued to attempt to gain access to Warner's home. The low-flying helicopter circled above, shining its light onto Warner's property. Jesus fucking Christ. At approximately 8:10, a person associated with Warner received an email from an LAPD detective. We were notified, yada, yada, yada. You have him reach out to Ilma. Returned multiple times and entered Warner's property. Eventually, police left after determining there was no evidence of any trouble. In addition to 4 LAPD squad cars, paparazzi were at his doorstep, of course. When police arrived, paparazzi took videos and recorded someone making false statements, which can be heard in the video. The person inside was screaming for help. Created an even more dangerous situation for Warner and his wife and guest inside the house. On information and belief, paparazzi were present because they had been tipped off in advance by Gore. Of course they were. The evening video and images of the police response were posted and went viral. Marilyn Manson's home was swarming with cops after a worried friend called for the singer's well-being. Welfare check was requested by an alarmed friend who had spent several hours trying to contact them. Yep, I'm sure. Many of these published stories made yada yada yada. Gore made the false report to elicit the dispatch of a large number of armed police officers to Warner's home. I mean, yeah. Part of a scheme to benefit the Phoenix Act, Wood and the film project to curry favor with Wood and potential and existing accusers after Warner. Based on the coverage of the police response, which is a disturbing incident at Warner's home, the allegations levied days earlier. It's not a welfare check, but a hoax. Ay. It's amazing that it went from a welfare check to, like, I can't get a hold of him. You need to go help him. blah, 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 into something sinister happened and Marilyn Manson was this terrible person. Like, how the fuck does that get turned around? Jesus Christ. Stuff like this is why you lost faith in humanity? I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Guilty, guilty, guilty. Are you sure? Upon information and belief, the Gore unauthorized access to yada yada yada. Part of her work for Warner, Walters was entrusted with Warner's private information by Warner and his representative. So this is talking about how she just basically coerced people into giving up passwords. Gore slanders Warner. 1996. Gore had multiple conversations with accusers and claimed were in a 1996 short film called Groupie, depicted child abuse and child pornography. Oh boy. During one such conversation, Gore said the actress in Groupie was a minor at the time and she was dead. I mean, you could just watch the movie, I guess. The actress Paula Weiss was 22 years at the time the film was made. She had publicly stated that she was not a minor, was involved in conceptualizing the plot of the film, and was acting and hamming it up. Yeah. That's... Does this idiot like actually think that when people die in horror movies, like they actually die? Does she think like Jason like actually just rises up from the dead to kill teenagers? Does she not realize that Freddy Krueger doesn't actually exist? I'm just curious. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say. First, okay, here we go. Causes of action. Causes of action. So, defamation per se. We've seen all these. I don't know how successful this is going to be in a California court. I don't know how we'll see. But I mean, this is some like next level fucking psychopathy here. This is some next level psychopathy that we're seeing here. Women let other women consent and leave them alone already. Like, seriously. Can we just like fucking not, please? Please. Jesus H. Christ. Well, I'm curious. I'm going to keep an eye on this case. I'm going to keep an eye on the news for this case because I'm sure this is going to hit a lot of news outlets. And she's going to, and they're going to play it up. We're being attacked because we spoke up. We spoke up and now we're being attacked. Leatherface was based on an actual killer, not word for word what the actual killer was exactly. I'm like, Jesus H. Christ, dude. You used to think that when you were really young, you ask your parents why you saw this one dude in the movie when you saw him die in another. I mean, I'm pretty sure that Gore is not 2 years old, so she could probably determine the difference, but based on how detached from reality she is, maybe that's not the case. Maybe that's not the case. We spoke our truth. We spoke our truth and we got attacked. Oh my God, dude. I can't wait to see what happens with this case. It could take a long time, though. It being high profile, it might get pushed through pretty quickly. We'll see. But this is going to be a fucking landmark ruling for Me Too. Because I think if this comes back in favor of Manson, oh boy, are we going to see some fireworks? Boy, howdy. Are we going to see some shit? There's going to be a lot of precedent set off of this. especially in California, because we haven't seen something like this big happen before. Sam, why did you give them the Elmer Fudd accent? This is going to be an absolute like nuke to the Me Too movement if this comes back in favor of Manson. A court case that never was, starring a certain stalker. That's what I'm saying. Like, the evidence is really solid. If you have to fake the funniest part is like I've had a guy like impersonate a federal agent in situations that I've dealt with. It's like, if that's the degree of competency and crazy that Manson's dealing with, Jesus Christ, he's laughing all the way to the bank. He is laughing all the way to the bank. But yeah, yikes. That's a massive fucking yikes. Best of luck to Evan Rachel Wood and Ashley Gore and their attorneys, because they're gonna fucking need it. They are going to fucking need it. Let me tell you. Holy shit. Holy shit. I hope that I pray they get a favorable judge. I pray that they get a fair and impartial judge to rule this out, and I hope Manson gets the justice that is due for this, because this is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Holy fuck. But that's about all I have for today, until a new update comes out for the Manson case and we figure out what's going on with it. I want it to be I want it to be now. I want them to decide on it now, but you know how the courts go. You know how the courts go. Speaking of courts, just a very brief aside before we finish up for the day. There was an attack on my Twitter this week. They tried to get me the very not mad people, very totally not angry people, tried to get my Twitter suspended because I was laughing at Funimation, and because a certain hearing was supposed to happen on Thursday. I'm used to it because they do this shit every time that something important comes up. They always try. You can always tell when something bothers them. It's the funniest thing. You always tell when something bothers them, because they can't stop. They can't stop letting it go. Like, they just can't let it go. Goes to show how long this stuff takes. Manson was quiet for a long time. Yeah, he had to be, because he was planning a lawsuit. One thing I will say, folks, as much as people want to take the high road in these slap fights and these situations, like the situation with Vic, the situation with Quentin, the situation against Eric Roland, the situation like Marilyn Manson here and stuff like that, as much as people want to just like let it go and move on, I cannot tell you enough. I have been dealing with people like this since 2015. Probably even before that. I've been dealing with people like this for a very, very, very long time. One thing remains constant among every single person, 100 out of 100 people. They can't let it go. And they will never let it go. They might submarine for a little bit. They might submerge for a little bit. They might disappear. They might go away for a year or 2 or 10. But they can never let things go. No matter how much You have moved on, no matter how much other people have moved on, no matter how much the world doesn't fucking care about their stupid stories anymore. They cannot and will not ever let it go. They're deranged. They're broken. And that's just the way it is. It's like herpes. It's like herpes. It can go away for a little bit, and then it comes back, flares up. They do it because it's the only thing they've ever been relevant for in their entire life. And they do it in stages. This is something I'm going to talk about in my book. This is why it's important to always keep on top of this kind of stuff, because they wait to see, and they test the waters to see who's paying attention. If they bring something up and they get smacked down, then they submerge again for a little while. Nope, not yet. They come back up and they test the waters. Oh, no one's paying attention. We'll just put out a little bit more. No one's paying attention. Okay, great. I'm going to act like this happened yesterday now. It happened 25 years ago, but I'm going to act like it happened yesterday. And I'm not going to include dates on any of the screenshots that I have. And I'm going to talk about it like it's the worst possible thing that ever happened. I'm going to catch this person off guard again because they're not paying attention and the people that were supporting them aren't paying attention and have moved on. It happens all the time. I know it's exhausting. And until society as a whole finally steps up and says, you know what? That's not okay anymore. Fucking stop it. It's something we have to deal with as individuals. And it's something we have to be conscious about as individuals. So, the whole reason I'm talking about this, the situation that happened, I haven't said a fucking peep. A brutal beating needs to happen. I haven't said a fucking peep about things regarding Chrissy's court date and impending criminal charges. I haven't said a thing about them. I haven't talked about her. I haven't talked about her stupid little fan club. I haven't talked about the toothless moron. I haven't talked about any of them. Not a single one of them. I haven't talked about them on this show. I haven't talked about them on Twitter. I haven't talked about anybody. I've barely talked about the Vic situation because there's not really a whole lot of news. I posted one tweet, 5 emoticons laughing at Funimation's news about being folded into Crunchyroll. And all of those little fucking weasels brigaded my Twitter to try and get me banned. Think about that for a minute. I haven't said a thing to incite them. I haven't said a thing to spark them up for literally months. And they came back to try and get me banned from Twitter because Chrissy's court case was coming up on Thursday. And they thought they could get me shut down over a tweet that was completely innocuous. They spammed the report system. They took advantage of the AI reporting. And they got my account locked. And I appealed it and it got instantly overturned. Like, I appealed it and within hours it got overturned. So I got my account back. They determined that there was no violation and they apologized profusely. Quentin has never worked at Funny. He's a union actor, so you don't know why they associate your tweets with Quentin at all. It wasn't just that, Sam. The two things, like, so I had people that were supporting Funimation reporting me because they're all together now. This is grown beyond just Vic and just Quentin, right? These planetarial masses have merged together into one giant ham planet. Denser than a black hole. They all talk to each other now. They all coordinate shit together now, right? Because they're all like locked arm in arm with people. So Chrissy's court case was coming up on Thursday. I made an innocuous joke, actually bashing Putin. Funny enough, I was bashing Putin last week, like a week or two ago. No one reported the tweet then. No one cared about the tweet at all. 2 days before Chrissy's court date, they brigade my Twitter to get it locked. Make no mistake, it's not lost on me the timing. It's not lost on me the timing. I understand. They waited to try and get me locked out so that I wouldn't be able to talk about it on social media. And Chrissy's friends and colleagues were all celebrating the fact that they got a little notification ding saying that, oh, we found hateful conduct. Spoiler alert, Twitter got it wrong. They admitted they got it wrong. And they apologized to me for it, by the way. You tried, and you failed. But you also confirmed something I already knew. Which is hilarious that even after months of me, quote unquote, leaving you alone and things will go away, right? That you still can't just leave it alone. That you still can't stop looking at every single one of my tweets. That you can't stop watching this show. You can't. Because you want my attention. You want it so bad. But you're just not interesting. I already knew. I already know about your Discord. I already know about your Discord. I already know about your friendships. I already know about your backroom discussions. I already know about all of your bullshit. I know about it all. And one day, I will bring it up on stream. One day I will show people when it's appropriate. But until then, there's more important things to talk about than some fat nobody in Finland that literally doesn't exist beyond this little niche thing that she's super fucking obsessed about. Maybe you should pay attention to your family. Maybe you should pay attention to your fat nobody husband and your fat nobody children. Maybe you should do that first instead of going on the internet and worrying about people's lives in a country that is not even close to you. Maybe you should do that. Maybe you should do that first. Because everyone else don't care about you. Everyone else has already moved on. Everyone else has already forgotten your name. And for you, that's probably a good thing. Because you don't want to be interesting. I can guarantee you. You couldn't handle it before. So I don't know why you want more attention now. Your actions have already landed your quote unquote bestie with at best a criminal record. Spoiler alert, folks, she had the hearing was supposed to happen on Thursday. And it got another continuance, which I already called was going to happen, by the way. In a previous stream, I stated that I fully expect it to be at least 2 to 3 more continuances. She's not an at-risk offender. She's not at risk of violently murdering people. So like this is not something that's going to take like top priority for the courts right now. With COVID lifting, there's a whole bunch of stuff that they have to go through. A whole bunch of backlog that they have to get through. I'm assuming this case is going to be on the back burner for a little bit longer before they eventually force her to come into court and make a plea agreement. Hilarious that you had to hire another lawyer though, because I'm pretty sure that either your mother got tired of the other lawyer saying that they have to plead this out, because you hired someone who specializes in plea agreements. So either your mother did or your lawyer got tired of you. One of the two things. But congratulations on your new lawyer. But yeah. I fully expect it to be pleading no contest for a lesser charge. I'm guessing she's going to try to plead no contest for a misdemeanor. So she can avoid having a criminal record. That's what I would guess is going to happen. That's what I would guess is very likely to happen, at least with a good lawyer. In the worst case scenario, she goes to court and she completely torpedoes herself, which is also very much a possibility. So, are these people blocked and they have you blocked and they still private quote retweet you? It's so weird. You don't think about them at all unless they're shoved in your face against your will. Exactly. Like no one thinks about these people. I get the odd messages every now and then, but I'll look at what this person's saying. It's like, that's funny. Like they're hilarious because that is their life. That is their life. That's all they do day in, day out. And they think that's all we do day in, day out. When in reality, I spend more time squeezing out a turd than I do thinking about them in a week. The thing is, Sam, they're not going to stop. Even if you private your Twitter, even if you private your stuff, even if you delete your socials, they'll still talk about you. And the thing is they're just going to make stuff up at that point. They're going to use that as a victory. They want to censor you. They want to censor you. That's the whole point. They want to remove your voice. They want to remove you from being aware of them so they can say whatever they want without opposition. That is the goal of these individuals. Not just against you. This is the goal for literally anyone that is in this. Literally anyone that does this type of stuff, that is their goal. They want no opposition to their voice. So it's important that you stay out there. It's important that you still go and talk about it. But it's more of a redefining how you absorb it. If someone sends you stuff, just laugh at it, just laugh at it. Look at how fundamentally absurd it is that 3 years later, people are still talking about Vic Mignogna. People are still acting like playing Kingdom Hearts is like torturous to them because they have to listen to Axel. Like they're lunatics. You just have to laugh at them. The thing is, Sam, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything at all. You don't have to tell people to stop. You don't have to interact with this stuff. I know it's mentally draining. I've been there before. But once you realize that it's something that's always going to exist, then you can find pity in that. You can find pity in it because at first it's like, wow, like, why is this happening? How do I get it to stop? And then it's just like, after a while, it's like, you know what? They're stuck in this. They're stuck. It is an attrition tactic, yes. They're stuck, and they can't move past that point in history. It's pathetic. It's sad. I just laugh at it because it's like, wow, you are a truly pathetic human being. If this is what you're still stuck on 10, 15, 30 years later, on their deathbed, this is going to be in their mind. On their deathbed, this is going to be the last thing they think of. Think of how sad that is. That your entire life revolves around something that this is like so incredibly frivolous, that they've dedicated their entire life. This is their Moby Dick. It's so sad. Because that is a absolute like degeneration of the mind. It is so demented. It's so demented that people literally devote their lives to going on social media for fucking decades to just try and get that one up on somebody. But just the simple fact of you existing burns them worse than anything at all that you could do. Think about that for a second. The simple fact of you existing and your happiness that does more to cripple them than anything at all. Victorangement syndrome, absolutely. You use Twitter to shitpost and talk about your bunny, so you hope they enjoy that? Exactly. Because, Sam, at the end of the day, you, Quentin, Vic, Stan, Eric, Marilyn Manson, whoever it is, you don't exist to get the approval of these fucking lunatics. You don't have to appease people who go out of their way to not be appeased. It's unreasonable. At the end of the day, you have to feed your family. Can't feed everybody else's. And that's the important thing. Sometimes we need to take care of our own. That's really what it comes down to. Sometimes we need to take care of our own shit. Because if we start worrying about everybody else's shit, then we turn into that psychotic nonsense that's going on Twitter right now. We turn into that lunacy. And spending every fucking waking moment of your life worried about what someone else is saying or doing. Oh, that's a sad fucking life. That is a sad, sad fucking life. So, as much as I understand it can get mentally draining, realize that you have no obligation to their happiness, no obligation to answer to them, no obligation to answering any of their allegations. Because at the end of the day, people are going to make up their own decisions. People are going to make their own decisions. People who believe those fucking idiots are fucking idiots. That's really what it is. And the people that you need to worry about are your immediate people. You don't need to worry about some fat whale in Finland. You don't need to worry about Johnny Otaku 2374. You don't need to worry about the Nigerian prince that's sending you emails asking you to help him out of a bind. You don't need to worry about those people. Because they're going to do this all the time. They're going to do it all the time. And the only thing that you need to do all the time is you. That's about it. That's what I got to say. Exactly. They just believe each other and that's it. And it's only idiots that believe idiots at this point. A vast majority. This is one thing that I have to put out there for anybody that's running a fucking business. Stop listening to the vocal lunatic fringe minority. Because the way that you operate, the way that you handle yourself, the way that you carry yourself, that will be how the great majority bases its decision off of. If you are level-headed, if you're kind and whatever else, that will be how you're valued. It's one of my favorite things of Egyptian lore that when the dead pass, they go to Anubis for judgment. And Anubis takes the heart of the dead and he places it on a scale. Places the heart on one side, places the feather on the other side. And if the heart outweighs the feather, then the beasts devour the heart. And the dead get sent into a purgatory. They don't get to move on to the afterlife. You have to live your life where your heart weighs as much as a feather. Don't carry this nonsense with you. You live life for yourself. You don't take other people's responsibilities onto you. Because at the end of it all, they're the ones that are going to be judged for how they live their lives. You're not going to be judged for how they live their lives. So, I will leave it with that. A little bit of life coach crumb at the end there for you guys. Little bit of life coach crumb for you. Hope you all enjoyed it. But thank you guys so much for hanging out. Gonna make you cry, Roxas. Aw. I hope the message reaches the people that it needs to reach. I appreciate every single one of you guys. As always, it's been a wonderful episode of Canuckleheads. We'll be back at it next week, more than likely. Bunny Mom Crumb, exactly, Sam. Exactly, Sam. So this has been Blight Blazer. This has been Crumb from Canuckleheads, telling you, keep your stick on the ice. Until next time, bye-bye.